Guys, Deluded Gooner, N'Golo Kante of this YouTube thing, the best YouTuber at this. Let's crack on. Now, I try to stay away from transfer rumours and making vids about transfer rumours and targets and all this. If I made a vid about every player Arsenal's linked with, or a player Arsenal's linked with going for, or a player that I like or follow that's linked with any club, I'll be making videos 24/7. I don't have the time, resource, I don't want to do that. Some of you have asked me to speak about Fekir though, like you've been in the comments, you've been getting at me on Snapchat, Facebook. I know it's serious when you lot are getting at me on Facebook, Twitter, all of these things. And I've spoken about him before. Just go and check my previous vid if you want me to speak in depth about him and why I like him and what I add to Arsenal. I've been wanting this guy since the summer, and that's not just me, quite a few people have. Football's not an open secret nowadays. But in regards to him coming in January, I mean, I'm seeing rumours of 60 million and blah, blah, blah. I'd love for it to happen. It's Fekir. He's a big boy in this thing. Arsenal need players like this that make you want to stand out your chair and believe in this thing again. So, of course, I will take him. But I can't see it happening, guys, for several reasons. Where do I start? Firstly, now, at this moment in time, we know Alexis and Ozil, they're gone, right? But on the basis that they're still here, the club is clearly, as minimal as it is and as stupid as it is, probably trying to convince them to stay. And now let's add into not only Alexis and Ozil, there's Wilshere, there's several other players in 2018. Now then you've got the 2019 lot in Welbs, in Theo, in Ramsey, I'm pretty sure Check and Ospina. That's a lot of wages to deal with and a lot of playing decisions to be made over a playing squad. Firstly, if we look at Arsenal's point of view in regards to finances and things like that, Arsenal, we know they've got money, but they never quite tell us. They went from not having enough in the summer to bidding 90 million for Fekir. Obviously, if Alexis went through together with Ox, it basically would have paid for itself. But we ain't got resources like United and them things there, so we have to be proactive in planning. And are we going to plan in January for this move to happen with wages being ate up already, with wages already being ate up with the contracts that need to be renewed and the year ahead of that, sorry. We don't know what we need to do in that regard. That's a lot of wages and a lot of potential transfer fees to be dealing with. So Arsenal need to make a decision on them players before they bring anyone else in, especially in Jan. And if we look at Fekir, how can you convince a man to... I do think it can be done, but if we look at it as non-partisan, as unbiased and balanced as possible, how can you convince a man to come and you don't know your playing squad? Because on paper, Wilshere's gone, Ozil's gone, Alexis is gone, the 2019 lot on paper are gone. You don't know who is going to be here. Would you sign for a team and you don't know who is going to be here in regards to the playing squad? Yes, there's Lacazette and all of these players, and it's Arsenal at the end of the day, so I'm pretty sure Fekir would sign for us. But these are things you've got to balance in. Now, to expand on that, if we don't know how much wages and how much transfer fees we possibly have for the kitty for the summer, let alone January, how can you see a move happening? Like, how can you, when there's so many question marks over the playing staff and both on the playing front and on the economic front? You can't, can you? Secondly, it's a World Cup year for Fekir. It won't make sense for Fekir moving. He's come a long way from his long-term injury. He's doing his thing. He's hitting the heights that he was spoken of pre-injury. He's doing his thing for Lyon. Like, he's got 12 league goals and three assists, which I believe he can improve on the assists and output in that incidents. But everything's going right for him. You saw him pass his addition when he came and ripped Everton. Yeah, it was a pen, but he still played well. Everything he's doing is doing it right now. Would you take a move with as competitive it is for places in the France side? Martial's on form and he's in and out the side. Would you take a move to England and all of these things in January? You won't be allowed to play in Europe, so we're both hurt by that. He's not going to be playing in Europa League, and we won't be able to use him if we get to the latter stages. Would you make a move? It wouldn't be sensible, would it, to uproot mid-season when everything's going so right for you? It takes a long time to decide over things. So, yeah, I would love it to happen, but I can't see it because it's a risky move. Like I said, World Cup year, mid-season. Added to that, negotiation point of view, it's going to be harder to get a move done in January. January, you typically have to overpay for players because people know you're unless you find them gems. People know you're desperate, whether you've got injuries or you need cover, etc. You're pressed against time. You're pressed against time because you only have a month versus however many in the summer. You have to overpay because people don't want to let people go in January. Would Lyon realistically? Do they want to let? Would they want to let one of their best players and most performing and most senior players in that young squad? He's 24. I think the average squad age is 24, so he's a senior player. Would they be prepared to take that risk, especially when they're third at this current moment in time of making this vid? They're third in the league. So, of course, they might not win the league. They probably won't. But on the basis that they're going for it and they're obviously trying to get in the Champions League and them things there, would it make sense for them to sell him? No, unless we bid something crazy, which I don't condone. Like, I'm seeing 60 million. They probably would sell for 60 million, but that's the sort of thing you're going to have to pay to get him. While we're on that, I've said this before, but in an ideal world, you wouldn't pay 40-50 for Fekir, because as much as I love him and his potential, he's not that sort of bracket player. But we don't live in smart times like anymore. If Sigurdsson can go for 50 million, so can Fekir. So with that in mind, you like to think Arsenal, we're going to have to get close to the fee we paid for Lacazette, which is our record transfer fee, or you're going to have to clear Ozil's fee. So it's going to be big money. And Arsenal like to dither and delay, so you can expect that to happen in the summer. Look how long it took them to conclude they want to move for Lamar. It took us to the last day. Do you really see this side doing things in January? The only saving grace I can see is since 2015, him and his father have spoken about the Premier League, spoken about the French connection with Arsenal, and spoken about Arsenal. We'd have to overpay in January, and I don't see a penny pinching side like Arsenal that praises themselves on having this wonderful model. I cannot see it happening. I can't see it happening because I can't see us convincing him to move in January. I can't see it being sensible for the player, if I put myself in his shoes, to move to a new league, especially like this in January. Allegedly, Barcelona want him. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Everything I said, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite, because if Barcelona come for you, you got to go, regardless. Barca and us are not levels. Barca are many statues ahead of us, stature-wise, trophy-wise, etc. But he's going to be a sideman there, essentially. And allegedly, he's their backup option in regards to Coutinho. So I don't know how strong their interest is on him. But you can be forgiven for wanting to go to Barcelona, and you don't turn them things down. I would like Fekir, man. Like I said, he's 24 years of age. Not to go into what I've mentioned in previous vids, but he's 24 years of age. Can play on the left, can play on the right, can play through the middle. He gets you out of your seat. He's got pace. He's got good technical qualities. He's cocky. He can score very good goals. He gets you out of your seat. He needs to improve in regards to the assists and his output, because I think he can do much better in that regard. But he's doing his thing. I just can't see it happening in January, people. Again, I'd love to be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because I love Fekir, but I can't see it happening. What we do need to do in January is sign a damn centre-half and a centre-mid that can play a ball forward, to be honest with you, before we think of these creme de la creme players. But, yeah, man, he's made 128 appearances for Lyon, and he's got 46 goals, 32 assists. Now, my maths is poor, but I'm pretty sure that's 77 or 78. I'm pretty sure 78 goals. So if he's had a hand in 78 goals in 128 appearances for Lyon, that's a mazza. And we could definitely, if you're Arsenal, we can definitely do worse in regards to signing these sort of players. And when you consider that he's a scope for Alexis/Ozil replacement, we can definitely do worse than signing this guy. I would love him and Thomas Lemar, but I can't see it all happening, to be honest, because if he's taking 60 alone, they're saying 90 for Lemar. Do you see Arsenal spending this money? And that's before you consider the need for a centre-half, centre-mid, a winger, all of these, keeper, all of these other things. Left-back and right-back if you want to be technical, second choices if you want to be real technical. But yeah, man, there's not much more to say on that front, guys. Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. Just thought I'd knock this one on the head real quick. Get in the comments, do the rest of it. I'm out.